Soldiers have always depended on tough, simple foods to survive the chaos of war. Forget gourmet meals. On the front lines, food is about survival, not pleasure. These rations were built to last through mud, rain, and battle, fueling armies when everything else failed. Today, we're counting down the top 10 wartime foods that kept soldiers marching through history. Some will shock you, some will disgust you, but all are testaments to human ingenuity under fire. From rock-hard biscuits to calorie-packed bars, these foods were the unsung heroes of survival. Let's dive into the rations that defined generations of conflict. Number 10 is the infamous hardtack, a food so tough it could double as a building material. Just flour, water, and sometimes salt baked into a rock-hard square. Taste wasn't the goal, longevity was. This stuff could last decades. Soldiers called it tooth dullers and worm castles. You had to soak it in coffee or soup just to chew it. Weevils and maggots were common guests. Tapping out the bugs became routine. Still, it was cheap, easy to mass-produce, and nearly indestructible. In the American Civil War, it was a constant, miserable source of calories. Some soldiers smashed it, mixed it with water and fat, and fried it into skilly-gully, barely edible but hot. Hardtack was despised, but it was a lifeline function over form, survival over satisfaction. It kept armies fed from Roman legions to Union soldiers. Its durability made it a staple, even if it was universally hated. Hardtack is the ultimate symbol of military rations, grim, necessary, and unforgettable. It was a hard food for a hard reality, utterly dreadful but absolutely essential. Number 9 is pemmican, the original energy bar, perfected by indigenous peoples of North America. Lean meat, dried and pounded into powder, mixed with rendered fat and sometimes berries. No water means no spoilage. Fat seals it for months. A small amount could sustain a person for days, lightweight, compact, and packed with nutrition. European explorers and militaries quickly adopted it for long journeys. The British Army used tons of it in the Boer War. It didn't need cooking and survived heat, making it perfect for mobile armies. The taste, waxy, greasy, and intensely gamey, definitely not a treat. Soldiers ate it cold or boiled it into a fatty stew called rubaboo. Still, it was a complete meal protein, fat, and vitamins in one. Pemmican is a masterclass in food preservation and efficiency. It's a survival food born of necessity and perfected over generations. Simple, brilliant, and brutally effective. A true testament to human ingenuity. Number 8 is corned beef, a classic still around today. Corn refers to the big salt grains used to cure tough cuts of beef. Salt draws out moisture, preserving meat for long voyages and campaigns. It was a cornerstone of naval and army rations, especially for the British Empire. Canned corned beef provided vital protein when fresh food was impossible. The downside? It was incredibly salty and often stringy. Soldiers soaked it in water to make it edible, or mixed it with hardtack and potatoes for a hash. Despite its flaws, it was reliable and portable, a morale booster in tough times. In World War I, bully beef was a trench staple. It was a compromise flavor and texture traded for longevity. Not healthy, not tasty, but it kept armies alive. Corned beef is a monument to the power of salt and necessity. It enabled exploration and sustained massive armies, a tough, salty, but crucial part of military history. Number 7 is the American K ration from World War II, a leap in food science. Designed for mobility, it was a complete, pocket-sized meal for soldiers on the move. 3 color-coded boxes, breakfast, dinner, supper, each with canned meat, biscuits, fruit bars, and even cigarettes. The goal, nearly 2,800 calories a day in the lightest, most compact form. On paper, it was brilliant, balanced, portable, and efficient. In reality, soldiers quickly tired of the monotony and blandness. The calorie count was often too low for prolonged combat. K rations were meant for short-term use, but supply issues made them a long-term diet. The result? Weight loss, low morale, and a bitter taste, literally and figuratively. Still, it was a milestone in ration design. Lightweight, convenient, but ultimately flawed by its lack of variety. A great idea that left soldiers hungry for more. Number 6 is the C ration, the canned workhorse for regular infantry. Each meal came in several cans, a meat unit, like stew or beans, and a bread unit, biscuits, coffee, dessert. The main advantage? durability, and the ability to heat up a hot meal in the field. Cans protected food from the elements and pests, boosting morale with a hot stew. But they were heavy and bulky, a logistical burden for soldiers already loaded with gear. Menu fatigue set in fast, variety was limited and quality inconsistent. Greasy stews and questionable meats were common complaints. Spam and similar processed meats became infamous components. Despite its flaws, the sea ration marked a shift to pre-cooked, ready-to-eat meals. It was hot, reliable, and fed millions from World War II to Vietnam. Heavy, repetitive, but a crucial step in military feeding. The sea ration is a canned legacy of sustenance on the front line. It paved the way for modern rations. Number 5 is Spam, the legendary love-it-or-hate-it miracle meat of World War II. Developed in 1937, it was a shelf-stable, ready-to-eat pork product that needed no refrigeration. Pork shoulder, ham, salt, and a few extras, cooked right in the can for a long shelf life. Over 150 million pounds shipped to Allied troops. It was everywhere. Soldiers ate it cold, fried in stews or on bread. Creativity was key to breaking the monotony. But its ubiquity led to fatigue. Spam became a symbol of endless, repetitive meals. Even Soviet leaders credited it with feeding their armies. Despite complaints, Spam fed not just soldiers but civilians worldwide. It became a staple in places like Hawaii and the Philippines. Spam is a testament to practical food becoming cultural icon. Cheap, plentiful, and packed with protein, it fueled victory. The peak of wartime food industrialization, a true miracle meat, if not a beloved one. Number 4 is bully beef, the British term for canned corned beef, a trench staple of World War I. Packed in rectangular tins, it was a solid block of salty, fatty beef, usually eaten cold or in stews. Millions of tins were shipped from South America to the front lines. It was reliable, non-perishable, and could be stockpiled near battle. The taste was monotonous and overwhelmingly salty, but it was a constant source of protein. Soldiers used the congealed fat for everything from butter substitute to lamp fuel. Nothing went to waste. Every calorie was precious. Bully beef is more than food. It's a symbol of the industrial scale and grim diet of the Great War. It kept the British Tommy going through 4 years of hell. Not glamorous, not tasty, but always there. The salty foundation of the trench diet. Number 3 takes us to South Africa. Biltong and Soati, the ultimate endurance foods. Biltong is thick strips of beef or game, cured with vinegar, salt, and spices, then air-dried. It's bone-dry outside, tender inside, and lasts for months, perfect for long treks in war. Vortrekkers and soldiers carried it as lightweight, protein-packed rations. Tough to chew, it forced you to eat slowly and savor every bite. The flavor was complex and savory thanks to the spice blend. Soati started as preserved meat cubes, sometimes rehydrated and skewered for cooking. Both foods relied on natural preservation, air and spices, not industrial canning. They're a testament to survival and adaptation in harsh environments. For African soldiers and trekkers, Biltong and Soati were keys to endurance. Number 2 is the ship's biscuit, the naval cousin of hardtack, fueling centuries of exploration and war. Made from flour and water, baked rock hard, and packed into casks for long voyages. Sailors got a pound a day, often using block and tackle to break them. Eating meant soaking in grog or soup. No pleasure, just survival. The real horror? Weevils and maggots infested the biscuits, earning them the nickname Weevil Castles. Sailors tapped out the bugs and ate in the dark to avoid seeing what was left. Some joked the bugs were extra protein. Ships' biscuits fueled navies, but also caused scurvy and misery. They're a symbol of endurance at sea, grim, insect-ridden, but essential. The baseline of survival for sailors. Utterly grim. Utterly. Number 1 is the emergency ration bar, the D ration, designed for pure survival. Commissioned by the U.S. Army in 1937, it was a high-energy, heat-resistant bar. Chocolate, sugar, oat flour, and milk powder. Dense, gritty, and intentionally bitter. Soldiers weren't supposed to eat it unless desperate. Each bar packed 600 calories. 3 could keep you alive for a day. So hard it was nicknamed Hitler's secret weapon. Soldiers shaved it with a knife or dissolved it in hot water. The taste was a deterrent, not a treat. It was food as fuel. No comfort, just survival. The D ration bar is the ultimate expression of military necessity. It's not about tradition or taste, just keeping you alive one more day. The bitter, chocolate-flavored lifeline of war. There you have it. 10 foods that defined survival on the battlefield. Often awful, always vital, these rations fueled soldiers through history's darkest days. From hardtack to Ration bars, each tells a story of ingenuity and resilience. Modern rations are a world apart, but these grim staples paved the way. Which would you dare to try? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more history. We've got plenty more stories to tell. Now get out.